it,
Okay, so we for real now? We ready now?
it's for
Yeah,
real.
okay.
We're really on the
Oh,
air.
okay, okay, okay.
Are we on the air? I forgot what show. I think that was Wild Out. I think it's. Yo, either way, yo, what's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another edition of the most electrifying HBCU talk show in the land. If you smell where historically black sense is cooking, welcome to the campus rundown, man. I go by the one and only MC, man. Of course, hailing all the way from the gorgeous Prince George's, attending the one, the only, the 1865, the big, the bad, the bold, Bowie State University. And I have some amazing, amazing co-hosts for me today. Who we got on the call?
Well, you got your girl Hadassah, aka Dasa Reigns, coming all the way from the one and only Alabama A&M University. I am a junior criminal justice major with the minor in communications media from Miami, Florida, and I'm excited to be here once again, back again.
Period.
Proud the gang.
And what's up, y'all? It's your girl B Rook hailing from the first HBCU in Maryland, Bowie State University, and I'm ready to kick it off. I missed y'all. Like last week was so funny, and I'm just so excited. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with the mental health checks. How are we feeling today, y'all? How we been feeling for the past week?
Ladies first.
You know, if I'm going to be transparent, I'm ready for like this upcoming break and for the semester to officially end. Like I'm over it and I'm just ready just to be done. So I guess you could say I've just been tired and exhausted and I'm just ready to get to that finish line, that finish point. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. I'm feeling the same way. I'm just trying to finish strong, make sure everything is just set in stone. So when we come back, we still green light, foot on the gas. But other than that, everything has been pretty chill for me. We just got back started with softball, and it really has not been that bad. And I was expecting it to, but we cooling. So I think 10 out of 10 right now, surprisingly.
Okay.
I'm glad my co-hosts are doing well. I think for me, I'm blessed. I'm always blessed, and I can't nothing wrong with that. I'm just stepping into a point now where it's okay. What's next? You know what I mean? It's just about trying to get to what's next and just setting goals for myself and just reaching to obtain those goals. Other than that, though, y'all know me. I don't complain for real, so I'm blessed. But what's going on campuses though? Like, I mean, what's been happening on campus for the past week for real? Anything special?
I know for us, it's been kind of dry. It's a little too cold for us to be doing anything. This is the time. This is Bowie's downtime, but I think didn't BMI have like a modeling showcase yesterday? I seen pictures, and it looked pretty nice. I didn't go though. I was in the bed.
BMI. I seen the pictures, videos. I mean, they did their thing. It's frozen in time.
They always do.
What about you, Hadassah? Anything going on campus?
Honestly, here at Alabama A&M, excuse me, y'all. Here at Alabama A&M, I don't think anything exciting or fun has been going on campus. I know tomorrow is our tree lighting ceremony. So basically, what they do every year in this tradition, they set up a big Christmas tree up on the quad, and they have a ceremony where Miss Alabama A&M and the Royal Court and the campus queens and everybody comes out, even kids from the community, and they light up the tree, and it stays lit up until sometime in January or February. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice. That's so heartfelt.
Very cute. That's very cute.
It is.
All right. We gonna start with this confession to kick us off.
Let's go for it.
I think so. Let's go ahead and bring up the very first confession. And y'all know what we do, man. Very first top of the episode, we gotta start with confession. See what the schools are talking about. So this confession right here says degeneracy is promoted so strongly in our community. Why are black children looking up to Sexy Red, but white ones look up to Taylor Swift? It's only a certain type of black person who they will make big, and we all know what the type is. Signed, somebody from NCAT. So, do we see some form of validity in what they are saying? How, and I've seen this quite often, how in the black community we are picking up certain figures, right? Maybe athletes, entertainers, whatever the case may be, or a certain type of entertainer or a certain type of public figure, as opposed to like a Taylor Swift or somebody. Just going off their example. Um, is there some validity into to what they saying? I don't think
Yeah.
so. But
Well, in a way, I just kind of feel like, excuse me, y'all, once again, but I do kind of feel like, or not even feel like, but we can all see that there is an actual pattern with what is being said. Like we see young people that grow up, like let's say for example, what's her name, I don't want to call her out, but are we all familiar with that girl Lele, who started off very young as a kid and now she's growing up, and we can kind of see her going into that cycle, although
mm,
we don't really know exactly what she's bound to do when she get older, but we can kind of see it. And I kind of agree with this confession right here.
No, I definitely I agree, but I just feel like they were saying, they only promote a certain kind of person in our community, and just like how the kids are these days, that's all they see. So like for us, like how old we are, we didn't see, we seen it in another way. Let's say it that. We seen it in another way, but the way that it's just put out there now, it's just different. But if that's what kids are seeing, then that's what we're going to follow behind, especially like if the people that are around them are not guiding them or even showing them other sides of the world, other things that they can look up to, then it's that's just how it is. And that's not good though. Like I'm not saying that's good.
I
Agreed.
think I think that the idealization comes from the exposure, right? The amount of exposure they have to them. Sexy Red isn't the first of her kind, right? There was the Nicki. There was the in terms of promoting like sex to a certain degree in their songs. There was Nicki, there's Meg, there's Cardi, there was City Girls, there's Foxy Browns, Lil Kim. Like you've had all these figures before her. Um, I think the idealization again comes from to what parents allow their children to be exposed to. You know what I mean? I think it just all boils down to that. If they are able to have so much access, we live in a world today where it's so much more access. And our parents, they had, like I said, the Foxy Browns, Lord Kims when they were at the age. So I think at some point, if you don't patrol what your kid is listening to the best of your ability, they will be exposed to certain things. You can't be mad at the world. You can't be mad at sexy for doing what sexy doing. I mean,
Right.
we little kids aren't even the majority of sexy's audience. That means more so like
It's
the
not her audience, period. So
it's I mean, so it's like you can't be mad at her for doing what she's doing, especially when it's not like she reinvented the wheel. I mean, it's not like yeah, she reinvented the wheel. This is something that kind of music has been portrayed for so long, and don't just call out Sexy Red when we've had so many other male artists as well that have certain things in their music. If we're going to talk about that, or we're now talking about just hip hop as a whole, if that's the case, we got to go down a long list of people who have made their comeuppance off of um, selling drug culture or sex culture or different things like that in the music. So it's like Sexy just doing what she doing. Sexy's getting a bag from the people that's giving her the bag, man. Can't be mad at Sexy for it. Can we be mad at us holding artists and athletes and public figures to such a high standard as our leaders as a whole? Yes, I absolutely agree that we should not be holding artists and athletes and other forms of entertainers as our leaders in our community when we have folks in the community doing real work. I mean, Martin Luther King wasn't a rapper. Malcolm X wasn't a rapper. They were people who were actually doing the groundwork to uplift our community. But for some reason, we will still hold the Jay Z, the Drake, the Kendrick, the J Cole. But at the end of the day, they didn't ask to be activists, political, to be in the field. They didn't ask to be that. You know what I mean, if they are doing that, that is amazing. That is great. That's supported. But I'm not going to hold them to the same standard of being a political activist when that's not what they do.
I agree.
One thing I do want to say, and I want to piggyback off of you, MC, when you did say the thing about social media basically really is like a big influence on everything that we do. Meaning that with this younger generation, I do believe that they are easily influenced, which is why they, how can I say this? They do pretty much follow the things that they see. If they see the city girls doing this, that, and the third, then what are they going to be doing? They're going to be, like mimicking them and doing things that they do. So I can definitely say that this generation easy influence, and that's also because of social media. And also, like you said, MC, what their parents or what they have control or access to. That does play a huge part in that as well. So
Facts. Like you got kids who got iPhones and iPads at
9.
years, two
right.
younger
Yeah,
than that,
2. Yeah,
two
younger
years
than that.
old. And that one stunts their growth from being on it so much. I mean, it wasn't none of that when I was a kid. It was getting in front of the TV, watch some Barney,
Go
watch
outside.
PBS.
Coloring book,
Go
Coloring,
outside, touch some
read. Like,
grass.
Barbie dolls.
but yeah, it's like I just really think that like how social media, it's like y'all said, like it just plays a big role when it comes to children growing up these days, because what they see on social media, that's what they think real life is like. And if they're only seeing Sexy Red and like the artist and not seeing anybody else that's really like that, it would be more positive for them to be seeing. Yeah, y'all get what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just like it's nothing, like that's all they see. And it's sad because it's just like if kids are going to use media and it's going to continue to be a thing as the world progresses, but I feel like it just needs to be another way, like y'all say, it needs to be monitored for one. But if kids are going to be on social media, then they need to come up with something that is a social media tailored for children, which comes with its own problems, but like it gives an outlet on more of the world and not just this one thing. And especially when it comes to the Black community, the only thing that is really promoted is like the vulgar artists and them talking about yada yada yada. So no, like they don't really have anyone else to look up to when it comes to music, at least in that aspect, that they're hearing about like other more positive topics and more child friendly topics, even though it is artists like that, but those aren't the artists that are big and blowing up and mainstream, so they're gonna follow right behind what they see.
Agreed 100%. You said it best.
Yeah,
Like, and that's all it is. Okay, can I ask y'all a question?
for
So
sure.
Go ahead.
really, like, do y'all think we should really be blaming, like, well, I wouldn't say like our generation, but the generation of parents that are raising these kids for like letting have this access, or even this generation as a whole for like even promoting this? Like, I feel like we, like, as the world progressed from how it was when we were kids, and they kind of didn't really care what kids seen, and that's like the growing problem. So like, really, do y'all think the older generation is the people to blame, or do y'all think it's just how the media is progressing throughout the world? Like, that is like, do y'all think it's going to keep going like this, or do y'all think it's possible for change if the work for change is able to put in?
I definitely would like to not blame the generations in a way, but I feel like that's how things do progress. For example, I know with certain musics or different dance styles, back in the day, like the salsa was a dance that was very explicit and very inappropriate back then. And we would now look at the salsa as a dance that's just like, okay, it's not too sexual, it's not too this, that, and the third. Where now we have dance moves like twerking and, you know,
Yeah.
grinding your body, different things like that, that are looked and seen upon as something that's very explicit and inappropriate. Where let's say another 10 to 15 years from now, people are going to look at those dance moves and they're not going to think the same thing about it. So I definitely do think that as times do come, like everything is just progressing in a way, if that makes sense. If that's the best way I can explain it, honestly.
The question, do we blame the generation before us? Is that what the question
Yeah,
is?
the question. Yeah, that's the question. Like, do we blame generation before us, or like the generation? Yeah, I say the generation before us is the easiest way to put it.
Um, I think that one, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? And two, blaming the generation before us for how things are now, in a sense, you can put it on them, but it also goes back to who raised them, and then who
Right.
raised people that raised them. So I think there's a trickle down effect. But I will say, in terms of kids, their exposure to whatever, I do place a lot of that blame on the parents. You know what I
Mhm.
mean, I think if you are going to have a kid and raise a kid, if you're not going to do your due diligence, then to the best of your ability, because not everybody has the same circumstances to be able to raise the kids as best as they can. But I think when you have that active decision that you're going to have a kid, you best do your best part to, you know what I mean, to raise that kid. Because it's like if you have a kid and you're not going to do your best to raise them, then why do you have them? I mean,
Yeah.
you're already leading them down
Hmm.
uh, a certain kind of path if you're going to do that. Whatever that path may be, that may not be the one that you feel like they should go down, or they feel like when they get to that age they want to go down. Um, yeah, if you're not gonna do your best to raise a kid, don't have a kid. Don't. A lot of times, folks have kids. It's oh, baby fever. Oh, the kids look good. I want to dress it up in my costume. No, like having a kid is a lot more than that. Especially when it comes to how social media is now. It's important to be very cautious of having a kid and how you are going to raise them in this day and age. If you're gonna be one that just whenever the kid is acting up, da da da, you just give them the phone. Okay, cool. Just go ahead and give them the phone and let them sit there and be able to be exposed to every single thing Instagram, YouTube has to offer. If you have no kind of monitoring skills on what they're doing or not, limiting how much social media and how much iPad and phone they intake, then you can't be mad at the results of what they're exposed to.
Right. I also believe like a part that plays into that, like the parents in this age right now, they're just getting younger. So it's like kids raising kids, and even like our parents were like, their generation were like young, but like we said earlier, it's just a different time. But the parents are just getting younger, so they just like their kids are really growing up with them. But for your child to be 3 and you what like 19, and you playing Sexy Red all the time, you playing this, that, and that's all your kid hears growing up, then
facts.
It's like, because like if you say like compare people, like we'll go back to like when we were children, like our parents, they weren't playing stuff like that.
Right.
Or if they were,
it was you get out.
Go to your room and you go. Yeah, we wasn't in the room, and that's what I'm saying. Like this day and age, it's
the kids
so much.
Party with the adults.
The kids are right there, wasn't to it. So it's like if you're not giving them no other alternative to be able to take anything in, what they end up becoming or listening to or being influenced by, that's all on you. You didn't do your part. If you did your part, because of kids will go to school, find out a lot about things, porn, vulgar music, like all that. You go to school, especially like middle school, high school, you're exposed to that around then. That's bound to happen. It happens all the time.
Age.
But it's a matter of if you're going home and you're hearing that again too, all learning, everything starts at home before you even get to the school. You know what I mean? So if you go home and you're hearing that constant reinforcement, you're at home more than you're at school, it's inevitable, pretty much.
Right.
I agree. Kids are the new adults nowadays. Let's just leave it at that.
Like, it's crazy.
Fam, I was pre-production telling y'all about this video of a little kid's birthday party, and they was like holding up guns and whatnot, and like and I wasn't even mad at the kids. It's the adults that are allowing that kind of stuff to happen. It's like as a 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old, not gonna be mad at you. You're doing what you're only seeing.
You don't know any better.
You're doing what you're being told. Like
it's up to the elders in that room, and it was a bunch of dudes, and it's like, fam, how are you raising? You know what I mean? Little kids to do this kind of stuff. That's how you end up falling into that life.
Yeah.
Hey, man. All in all, everybody should just raise their kids how they should be raised. Just raise your kids. But main topic. We want to get into. I want a video that we want to show everyone before we even get to the main topic. Yeah, let's bring up that video first. Let's bring up that video.
Everybody don't go to college for the pursuit of higher education. Right? At least that's not what we start off. Some of us go to college because that's the first time we ever had a space where we actually just have our own bed. I mean, some people don't have a bed at home. So going to college is the first time you have a bed. Going to college is the first time you have a space to be yourself. Everybody don't come from a household that's conducive to their learning and their growth. You feel me? Sometimes your household could be a toxic environment. Going to college is also the first time we gain exposure outside of the block. I went to London and Florence through Syracuse University Study Abroad program. Nobody that I could name right now been out the country to learn and be a student of where we at. You get me? So like college is not just for the pursuit of higher education. It don't even start off that way. I declared my major during my sophomore year, the end of my sophomore year, but I didn't know what I really want to do until senior year. Now I know what I want to do. So I'm not going to portray that narrative that like college is just for the pursuit of higher education. There's much more that you learn in college from just academics. You learn about the importance of time, deadlines, setting,
Shout out to the homeboy in the video. So first thing I wanted to get to basically is what's motivating you to go to college, right? To get a degree. What was your motivation to even go to college in the first place?
Well, I'll go first. My motivation to go to school, to attend my university and just to go to college in general was definitely for the experience, especially since how things are being broadcasted and shown within today's time. And honestly, to get a degree, because I know that ultimately I would like to do something in the future. And in my career, my requirement is to have a degree and to get another degree. So I knew that ultimately I was just going to have to go to college as well.
I know for me, since I was younger, my mom always said either school or the military. So like that was the only thing. Like graduating high school, like I have to make a choice: school or the military. My mom was not gonna let me sit around and do anything or do nothing. So that was the first thing. But I think like it was the biggest motivation. Or what's your biggest motivation to go to college or whatever? Mine would just be for myself and for me. Like I really wanted to leave home, and I knew that's like the easiest outlet. At least I'm leaving home and going out to do something. But like I think well most people are here for a degree, of course, and I know what I want to do in the future. I'm going to need a degree, and I'm not saying like you need a degree to be successful, but for what I want to do, I know that's what I need.
I felt that. I know for me, I say this all the time, fam. I wasn't even thinking about going to college at first. Like I come from a family of entrepreneurs. This is our brand. Shout out to Michael Credit Collection. Now our brand. You feel me? Yeah, we have our own brand. I was into music, an artist, producing beats, writing songs for other artists. So when graduating high school, like going into senior year of high school, mother started talking about college and just applying because it's always good to have a backup plan, especially being in the world of business. You never know how things might turn out, so you always want to be 5, 10 steps ahead of the game. So I said, yeah, go ahead, apply for college, apply, get in, and this is going to lead to my next question of you have your initial reason of why you want to go, but what keeps you there? Like I know when I got to Bowie, the radio station, and how I was able to be so involved with different types of media here on HBS, doing Experience Bowie State, doing the radio station, doing TOT, like being able to tap into what I want to do after college so early is what kept me there for real. So what would y'all say has kept y'all there throughout your journey into college so far?
I think for me, like the biggest thing is playing softball because that's what I really wanted to do. Like right now, like it's crazy to even think about it sometimes. Like I am living my dream. Like I go to school for free. I play softball.
Hey
So,
man.
like thank you. But it's like it's nothing else I can really ask for, and this is what I asked for. So that's the first thing. But once I got to school, it was like other things that sparked my interest, and that's what keeps me like the radio station and all of the media, working with our athletic team with media, like all of that is things that genuinely interest me, and it's fun, and it's like I'm not. It's not busy work, and I'm just not doing it for no reason. Like at the end of the day, it's gonna benefit me for my greater purpose.
For sure, for sure. Hadassah?
Um, me on the other hand, I would definitely say, well, can you repeat the question one more time?
What's kept you going in school? Like you have your initial reason for wanting to go, but
Mhm.
once you get there, your reasons can change. So what's been keeping you going while in school?
So what's been keeping me is actually my involvement within my university. You know, being a student leader, being an SGA, being Miss Pre alumni, doing all of these different things have allowed me to keep going. You know, versus if I was a student that wasn't really doing nothing or wasn't really involved, I would probably consider maybe transferring to another university or maybe just not continuing my education. But I would definitely say, like my involvement, it has kept me here. So yeah.
Can I add one more thing? Also,
Sure.
one thing that keeps me here is me. Like this is something that I wanted to do and that like I'm putting my time into. So it's something like keep it like I'm keeping me here because I want to be here and I know like I need to be here.
Right. I
Facts,
agree
facts.
with that.
That's definitely a big thing of people go to college, so they say for their moms, their grandma, because they want to see them go out, which is cool. But at some point, we all know college gets rough.
It gets
For
hard.
for whatever reason, it gets rough for different reasons for different people. So it's like at the end of the day, once you get to that point, okay, what's going to push you? Sometimes the will to do it for your own self is a lot stronger than the will to do it for grandma or mom. When it's something you really want to do, like you want to put your all into it, you want to go and give your 110%. B Rook playing softball for her folks is probably not as strong as the
Oh
will as
no,
B Rook
I'm
playing
so sorry.
softball for
Mm-mm.
herself. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Since coming into college, right? I know freshman year you may have a vision of what college may be like, and then you actually get in the trenches and go through a year or 2 years, 3 years, senior year, whatever. Has those expectations changed at any point? Like
Yeah.
what you thought college would be and actually is?
Immediate. Yes.
What's some of those
Yeah,
things
it
that
definitely
changed?
changed.
Like for me, I thought coming to a school like where I didn't know anybody, like I thought it was gonna be totally different, and it
Mhm.
was, but just not how I expected it to be. Like it was like when like the people out here, it's like it's just a different kind of culture than it is in Virginia where I'm from. So like that was like the biggest thing. And then like even the college athlete life is nothing what I thought it would be. And that comes with its own craziness just because it's buoy. But it's like it's not what I thought it would be. So it really like it showed me very quickly like college is I don't even know. It's very unpredictable. That's what it showed me. Like I had the wrong idea coming in. Like I don't know what I thought it was about to be, but it's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. It definitely, like you said, that's a strong word. College is very unpredictable. I would say maybe, I can't even say next week, but you don't know what's going to happen next semester. Any little thing could happen. And I came in with the expectations of, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I basically had like, what's the word? I had a blueprint. And am I
Mm-hmm.
following that blueprint right now? Absolutely not. I'm not following that blueprint. And it just, y'all, just by that little pause, college is not.
It's okay,
It's
sister.
yeah,
I didn't really plan for like the hiccups. Like I knew like it would be like something, but like the hiccups and like the hard times that I've been through was not what I thought it would be. So like that's another
mhm,
thing. And you can't ever plan for like some well, you can always plan for something to go wrong, but you never know what it is until it happens.
right. What about
Something
you?
that me
Yeah.
was kept me going in college. I think it's more so like I was saying with the radio station and just my involvement. Like I'm not a big book grade. Like I could care less about that part. But it's something that our supervisor says. He says you have to learn to love the things you hate to do. Right, and that's what it is for me. I care really about the assignments of that. No, nobody really cares about that. We care about what the end goal is, right? We care about the external extracurricular things, the connections you make along the way, and knowing that okay, in order to go be active in my organization, I gotta have the GPA. I mean, or in order for me to be able to apply for these jobs, I gotta have an impressive resume and impressive transcripts to be able to send to them. So it's really the external things that's keeping me going and knowing that like, okay, if I want to get to point A over here, I gotta first get to point B, point C, and then build up to over there. Um, but yeah, really just the external things. Like, of course, coming in freshman year, doing things, going to classes, going to certain events here and there is cool. Once I really start to get involved and really find like myself in college and find my place, that's where I really start to flourish well. And I want to ask y'all, do you feel like with coming to college, you've started to identify more of who you are? Like, has B Rook found who B Rook is? Has Adasa found who Hadassah is, or at least the kind of people that you want to become? Do you feel like you've started that journey yet?
I think I have. I think really it started in high school, but once I got to college, I really had like I had freedom over everything that I did. Like all my choices were mine. It wasn't mom telling me I had to do this. It wasn't dad telling me I had to do this. So I think yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't even know how to put it in words. Like it's just the journey like you can just see. Period.
Right. B Rook, you literally took the words out of my mouth. Like it did start in high school for me, but as soon as I got here to college, my choices, my decisions, everything was mine. And I can kind of see that transformation. Looking back at the old individual that I used to be, I'm definitely proud of myself. And it's just like, it's just a growing journey each and every day. Like I can look back a month from now and I was a completely different person, but I'm definitely excited about that. And that's the crazy part about college. Like you will grow into a different person, not in a bad way, but you'll
Right.
just, start to become yourself.
But it's because you get to like learn yourself through different experiences. Like a lot of the stuff that I go through at college, I mean, like some of the stuff, yeah, like it was at home, but like now it's just different situations. There's always the situations, and that teaches you a lot about yourself. And I know for me, I'm really focusing like on the growth part and like changing, or not even changing, but bettering my mindset. So like now I try to stay very conscious of my actions, my words, all of that. But it's like the conscious decision of making, like trying to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Something you said, B Rook, about how now having a certain type of freedom, right? Especially if you are an out of state student, yeah, even an in state student could have the same kind of thing, but getting that certain kind of freedom, your first time going out and not having to tell your parents or not having to be back for a certain time. Once you realize you have that kind of freedom, it changes you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say has been the impact of realizing you have your own freedom and you when it comes to making decisions, you don't have to run it past nobody. It's just you making that decision. How has that impacted y'all?
I would say it definitely has. I'm sorry to cut you off, B-Rick. I
No,
know
you're
you.
fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would definitely say being all the way from Miami, Florida, and going to school in Alabama. When it's time to make those decisions and realizing that I'm the person that has to tell myself this is what I can do and what I can't do,
Mm-hmm.
it has made me realize that this is going to allow me to be the person that I'm going to be in the future, if that makes sense, or this is going to build me into the person that I'm becoming to be, if that makes sense.
I feel
So,
you.
yeah, that's what decisions have basically taught me. And I'm getting tongue tied right now because I know what I want to say, but it's not coming out. But
Has it
yeah,
taught you to kind of make like smarter decisions because now you don't really have an external help? Like it's not mom telling
yeah,
you, pops, or whatever, but it's just you making that. And sometimes you might make a decision where when you look back at it, it's really freaking dumb. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's that trial and error hitting that rock bottom. Because once you hit rock bottom, only place you can go is up. You know what I mean?
right. Right. That's what comes with that independence as well. You get freedom, you get everything, but it just don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Don't abuse it.
I think like to start off, I feel like when it comes to like my freedom and my decision making, my mom and my parents like they weren't too strict. The only thing they were very strict on was softball and school. But like when it came to me going out and doing this and doing that, they weren't too strict. It was just like the regular mom, like, oh no, you're not gonna go to this party and because you're going across the water and it's like stuff like that.
Right.
But I feel like they like my family and my circle at home really kind of prepared me to be ready to make these decisions. So like now that I'm in college and I'm having to make like even the simple decision like am I going to go to class today even though I'm so tired and I'm not feeling like it like so it's taught me like a lot. It's matured my decision making. I can say that and just being able to like I feel like I'm getting tongue tied too. Like I can't put it in
Oh,
words.
Dawson got.
Like
Contagious.
it's just like I said, like it's just the maturity and the growth in my decisions. And even now, like I call my mom, like, Mom, I don't know, like I'm torn between the decision. And she's like, she guides me the best, but it's not like she's making the decision for me anymore. I think like a lot of times, like in college, well, coming into college, like you're used to your parents like having the final say over like big decisions, but like now it's like my mom's like, you just have to choose, you have to figure it out, and she guides me as much as she can, but it's a lot like I don't have nobody to, oh, what should I do? It's I'm asking myself that. So I think that's like what it's brought me to and matured me to. And I think my decision making is getting better.
It definitely starts at home.
It definitely starts at home.
Definitely.
Because if you come in unprepped and your parents let you do anything, that's exactly what you're going to do at school.
Hello.
Like
Facts. Or
I've seen it.
if you on a super tight leash, like I know folks who once they get let off that leash, once they're in college, start going
They wild out.
crazy.
But it's because like their parents or whoever raised them, they didn't give them that freedom to like learn the world before they got to be an adult. And I see that a lot, like even with the people around me, and it can be older people. And it's just like I tell them like stuff like, oh, I did this in high school. They're like, wow, you did that. Like, I just did that once I got to college. So it's like you can definitely see the difference in like people's decision making and just like their thought process once they get to school, just based off that. Like if you didn't have no freedom, you get to school, cut the leash, you just go out and do anything. Like you don't know, and you just want to see, like you want to see everything at once. So I think that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to it was something that Homeboy said about college for a lot of folks is more than just being able to go get a degree, but it's a lot of times it's their first time out of whatever environment they're in. Um, and then that ability to be able to go and be a student of wherever you're going and being able to have a different perspective of knowledge, that in itself is enough right there, more than just getting a degree, but just being able to have that experience, being able to compare what you know here to what you have learned out there. I want to ask y'all, when it comes to like your folks back home, do they see it that way? Like it's not just you going to get a degree, but it's you being able to learn outside of your environment, or do they still kind of have like that mindset of they're stuck with where they are?
I think. Oh, you want to go first?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I think for me, well, first thing I want to say to start us off, a lot of people never leave their hometown, and that is like it's really crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not trying to bash people to leave their hometown, but it's like you don't get to experience the world in a different way. Like I only went 3 hours away, and like I said, it's way different. But it's like I've traveled like since I've been older. Like I'm going out places because I want to see everything, and you just see like how everywhere is different. The people act different. Like I said, just the environment. So wait, let me pause. What was like the main part of this question?
Well, just do your folks back home, do they understand that college is more than just getting a degree?
Okay.
It's also getting a different perspective of knowledge from other places.
Okay, thank you. I need that to pull me back. For me, I always like knew I wanted to go out of state for school. Like I wanted to go farther, but it's where the money was. So my mom always she would always be like, yes, like I want you to go. But like, all parents like they're scared. They don't want to see their baby leave. I'm my mom's first child. I'm the oldest. So it's like she never told me no. She always just told me like go out wherever you want and learn experiences. But like I'm gonna be home for you still. Like if you ever need help, like it's still home is gonna be home. You know what I'm saying? Like you have something to fall back on. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna push you out there and you don't have nothing. Like I always have that sense of home somewhere.
So, what about you, Adasa? Do you think your folks understand it?
Do you think my folks what?
Do you think your folks understand that college is more than just a degree, but it's about getting a different perspective of knowledge from other places?
Okay, I thought you said, do you think that your folks left you stranded? I don't know.
I would hope not. I would hope they didn't leave you stranded.
Oh no, they didn't. We're living in luxury here. But to say what B Rook first said that what did she say? I'm
people
really
don't
having
make it out of home. Like
a lot of people, believe it or not, do not leave from their hometowns, and you won't realize it unless like you're one of the ones who do decide to branch off and you left from your hometown. And I can kind of see it. Like I feel like I've outgrown my hometown to the point where I don't want to go back. Like yes, Miami, but I don't want to go back to Miami. But to focus on the bigger part of the question, I would say yes and no in a way, because my mom is one way, my dad is one way. My dad, he believes that college is gonna, mature me into this person, and that college is not just for the degree, but it's for different opportunities. Whereas my mom, she kind of just thinks that I'm just here for school, that's just it. She didn't really want me to leave out the bird's nest, but at one point I did have to leave, and I do have to focus on other things, because at home, or being from my hometown is not always the only plan, or just staying home is not the only plan. And I'm not trying to bash or say anything bad about people who do decide to stay home, because there's no shame in your game. But
Facts.
That's just my tea on it.
Wait, I just have one more thing to say. Like you were saying, like you can really tell the difference. Even when I go back home and I see people that like I used to go to high school with or grew up with that stayed at home, they will say like, "Oh, Brooklyn, like you left home, like you think you all that." Da, da, da. And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, that's not the case. And they just see like my Instagram, all of that, and they see I'm doing this, that, and the third. But it's like that's not the case. I just went and tried to go experience something different. You're still doing the same thing you did 10 years ago here. Like it's just I had to have like an environment change. So I think like that is just like, I don't know. People who don't leave home, I don't think they really understand it until they really get the opportunity to leave home.
They've seen your growth basically from all of that. And I get the same thing as well. A lot of people say I talk more sophisticated, and it's not that, but it's just because college has trained me to represent and to prepare myself in a certain light and in a certain way. I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not, but this is the individual that I have grown to be now.
Facts. Sometimes, what's the quote? It's I forgot who said it, but they said doing the same thing constantly and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And so you will have folks where when it comes time for you to elevate in life, everybody can't go with you. That's just a natural fact of life. As much as we can try to pull people up with us, the whole reach one, teach one, absolutely should do that to the best of your ability, but just know that you can't pull all the one. Yeah, I mean, you can reach one, teach one, but you can't pull all of the one. That's just thing of life. Sometimes you encounter people for a season, for a specific time in your life, and then you grow from there. Some people are with you for the entire ride. Some start off with you and then drop off, and some will come along as you go further in the ride. But it's just all a part of the ride of life, for real.
Right.
when it comes to matriculating and going through college, who would y'all say are some of the role models, people who have helped you to go through college? And it could be an advisor, it could be a certain friend that put you on, it could be your mentor, your coach, whatever the case may be. But some of those really important people that have helped get you to where you are now.
You saying like at school?
Just
Or
in general, just in general. It could be at
okay.
school, not at school. Like, who would you say?
I love this question so much. Like, I really love this question. But go ahead, B. Rook.
Okay, my bad. But I would say for one, me, like I said earlier, then my family. But like as it comes on school, like MC, I don't know if you know this, but you, Julian, and Woo, like y'all really put me on so bad. Like y'all are like number one on my list, really. Cause like if it wasn't for y'all, then I wouldn't have found I wouldn't have found my place in the media community at Bowie where I think I really like should have been, and this is the most like me. So I would say that like I give a whole bunch of props to y'all for like everything. Like love y'all.
All love, always love. Hadassah, who about you?
Mikey?
Yeah.
I have a list full of people, but as I'm going through my collegiate experience, that list does get smaller because I do realize that there are people along the way who first started out the journey with me that are no longer there. But I would definitely give it 100% to myself, to my parents, to my oldest sister. Yeah, on me first, but to my oldest sister who is the oldest and didn't have no prior knowledge of college. I guess you can say I'm a first generation student in a way. And my sister, she went to Howard, and it was just a different ball game for her. And she encouraged me to this whole like collegiate scenery and going to school. So I would definitely give it up to my sister, of course, advisors, and my mentor. Like those are the people that help me stay sane, that help me do what I need to do, and that's also helping me get in my degree. So yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. I think for me, with B-Rock, I know you know this lady, but Hadassah, there's this lady on our campus named Thomasina Borg, Coach T.
Coach T.
Coach T, and I'm sure you may have this gentleman or this lady at your school, but pretty much the go-to person for probably anything. This is an advisor on our campus. She's basically the superwoman. Like she's over the tour, she's on World Court, Cab, homecoming concert, commencement. Like she has her hand in everything. And since me encountering her, I want to say end of my sophomore year is when I really started working with her. Just the opportunity she's been affording me, whether it's with hosting, whether it's picking me to be chief NSO leader, letter of recommendation for Alpha. Like she has always just been in my back pocket, not back pocket, but back corner, just helping to push me. My step coach, when I was in high school, he was encouraging me to go to college. He's a big influence on why I became an Alpha. I had another college coach that was helping to push me to apply to different schools and to really talk to me about what I want to do. It's how I pivoted from music to kind of doing media now. And just the circle of people I surround myself with. Like I try to make sure that I'm around people who see the potential in themselves and are pushing themselves to do different things. Because they say birds of a feather, they flock together. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're not surrounding, I'll speak for me, if I'm not surrounding myself with people who are pushing themselves to be better, are pushing themselves to go and experience different things to achieve the goals that they have, and we're holding each other accountable. If I don't have that, you know what I mean, I can't do it all by myself. It takes a village. You feel me? When it comes to going through college, right? If you could say something to yourself the very first day, right? Very first day you start college, what's some advice you would have gave yourself on what you've learned thus far?
You can go first.
The first day, like, what do you mean your first day? Like your first official day where
by yourself?
Your first day, like from where you are now, from where you started very first day to where you are now. If you could give yourself some advice for going through college, what's something you would have said to yourself? It could be anything. It could be, hey, make sure you don't skip Soulful Wednesdays, or hey, make sure you go to that concert. Like any piece of advice that you would give your younger self.
Okay, I'll go first. Or you want to go? So you
No,
see like a thinking face on. So I don't know if you was
Yeah,
ready.
no,
she's
go
trying to tap on.
I had to think, but go ahead.
Okay, I think the first thing I would say is make sure you always be true to yourself and keep your goal, your end goal in light no matter what. I will also say make sure you stay focused, manage the distractions, and it's going to be hard,
Mhm.
but you have to keep going because in the end, you're going to make it. This is what you're built for. This is what you prepared for. So now it's time. You're here to execute, and you got to do it. I think that's all I would say. Yeah.
Aw.
Preach, sister.
Letter to little B Rook. Oh, that was super sweet. I would definitely almost say the same thing, but for words for younger, old Hadassah, I would say you're gonna prove yourself not wrong, but right.
Mm-hmm.
Go with your gut. Don't live in the past and don't live with regrets or doubts that you think may happen. Like don't live with what ifs or
Mm-hmm.
just don't live with any doubts. Be confident, and your confidence is gonna intimidate a lot of people, but use it, girl, because you're gonna need it.
Heavy on
And
that
just
comment.
yeah, just enjoy the rest of your collegiate experience. It's gonna go by so fast, but it's
Mhm.
gonna be so worth it for what you have to come. So
Right. I
that's
will
a
also
little
add on.
so
That was cute too. I will also
thank
add on. Make sure you're having fun. Like that is one thing. Like continue
Yeah.
to have fun.
yes.
Okay. What about you, MC? I know it was a long time ago, but
Yeah. Yeah, she just trying to call me. Yo, you know what's funny? I walked on campus the other day, bro, and I'm not on campus like that anymore. I don't be up there for real. Unless I have to, like, say I might do the call from the radio station with B Rook or something like that. But I walked on campus and I walked in in the pub area, and so I was like, "Yo, what's up, OG?" And I was like, "Yeah, whoa, don't call me OG. I'm not at that. Don't call me OG."
you
But
get there.
you said what?
So you get in there.
Yo, chill, bro. Relax. But what I would say is that one, and all the pictures are off my Instagram. I make sure of that. But if you just seen me freshman year with like my hair and whatnot, I definitely would tell myself, yeah, go ahead and go back to twisting your hair or cut it or go back to dye it black. Don't put color anymore. But on a more serious tip, I probably would just tell myself to get involved earlier. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even though I feel like everything happens for a reason, a certain way, it might have helped if I got involved a little earlier with certain things, or if I took certain classes more seriously than instead of having to repeat them afterwards. But yeah, just put myself out there more than because I didn't really start doing it probably until like going into junior, maybe end of sophomore year for real. So just not being afraid to step out on that ledge earlier.
No, I agree with that because I think what like one thing that kind of really held me back from like joining stuff or not even held me back but like made me nervous and more hesitant was like I was just scared. Like I didn't know how I was gonna
Yeah,
be. I did not know anybody. So I think that was like one thing I would tell myself that too.
I
yeah,
think a lot of people can agree with that when they first get to school or, once they get to that upperclassman phase, they do have those regrets of, just being involved or not being scared or not having doubts. And that definitely plays a major role. You don't know unless you try. Like that's my biggest
right.
motto for anything in life. You won't know unless you try. So just if anybody's watching y'all, go out and do it. Okay. Don't be
Right.
scared. Stop
Right.
being weak in the knees. Do it.
Stand up.
Stand
Weak
up.
with the knees. Well, I think let's go ahead and pass it to Hadassah for the A word of the day.
All right, y'all. So the A word of the day. Can I get a drum roll, please? Our accountability check, y'all. So every week we have an accountability check where we just check in with each other and hold everybody accountable on what we're going to do for the upcoming week. And that just allows us to be productive and be responsible and just be great. So let's give it to MC first. What's your A word or accountability check for the week?
Well, I'm just start off. I definitely forgot what last week's was for me, so we're just gonna go ahead and wipe that away. For this week, I think I'll look for more ways to make money. right? So applying for other side jobs. I said earlier in the year that I wanted to have multiple streams of income, and while I do have that, right, it has been coming. I think now is to be more specific with what I'm manifesting. So have more consistent streams of income, more higher paying streams of income, more streams of income that directly relate to my field. So just putting that in the atmosphere and just really on my now due diligence and finding that for myself. Because what I am getting at, like I said, I want to have more consistent things and more things that relate to what I'm doing with media or entertainment or things like that. So yeah, just putting my looking cap on it and looking for different things. My accountability for this week. B Rook, what's your A word?
I think my accountability for this week, for one, definitely continue on focusing on my self growth, because I have been tapped into that a lot lately. I don't know if y'all see, I'm on a social media break, little detox right now, just to get everything back right in my mind. So definitely want to continue on that. But I have some work that I have to get done this week pertaining to like graphics and TLT, the org that I'm in. And I'm also throwing an event, my first big event. So I'm getting that together. And
Okay.
Little promo action. What kind of
oh,
event?
the promo. Okay, y'all. Ladies R&B night with Miss HSO. That's me. But yeah, so my first big event. So I'm excited. It's gonna be in Student Center Ballroom or whatever. And I'm definitely one of the number one things on my list is to continue to edit these videos, because I remember my accountability check last week. I told y'all I lost my hard drive. So I got me a new one. It's a fresh start, and I have content that's ready to be edited. So I'm working on that. First video is going to be out on Friday. Not your typical homecoming, Norfolk State homecoming vlog. That's going to be out. So, and shortly after part 2, GHO, A&T's homecoming. So I'm definitely working on that. Like, I'm really working on building my brand back up, my personal brand.
You still owe me footage, but you know it's just all.
That said footage is on the missing hard drive that we're waiting to run back around the block. It's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up. I'm telling you. Just give it a
such
little.
great footage, bro. It was such great.
I know. I have stuff from you when I was a freshman in this station, like when I first met you on your birthday. So, yeah.
On that hard drive. Oh my god.
Yes.
Or please return this hard drive to be real.
Yes, please put it in y'all prayers.
I'm sorry, I just need that.
You're fine. It's the way you just put that sneeze in there. I really thought you were sneezing for a second.
I'm sneezing.
I caught it.
Back.
I knew exactly.
Bless you. But my accountability check for this week, I have a lot going on. I'm just a busy person. I'm a student leader, y'all. But first and foremost, I do need to get these 3 papers done by the end of this week. These 3 papers done. Make some time for myself and try to implement some type of self-care, and to praise all of the things that I have done, like all of my accomplishments or all of the great things that I have so far, instead of worrying about the negative or things that I don't have, because child, ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
And what else? I think that's all. That's everything that I got to do. Definitely focus on schoolwork and get those 3 papers done. And yeah.
Can I add something? Can we add something?
Go ahead.
At the end of the show, I think we should have like a kudos or a round of applause for everybody making it through another week or whatever. Like if you have anything that you want to say, like that you need like some claps up on, some kudos for, I think we should do that.
I think that's
very nice.
I think that's very powerful. You know, a lot of times, especially in the Black community, we may not big ourselves up. I think it's definitely important. Somebody used to do with this company called Peer Forward, where we worked at the end of the week. We would talk about, but at the end of the day, we talk about the things we wanted to work on, the things that we did well, and just really give ourselves props on. I like that. I like that, B Rook. I think
it's like it be making me feel good when y'all do it for me. So I was like, I want to do it for y'all too. So claps for everybody. Kudos to everybody for making it through a great week. Any progress is great progress. So let's keep it going, y'all, for another week.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I like that.
I like that. Yo, hey dog. Yeah, we're going.
We got that one in.
Yeah, we're going to tap the show. Yeah. Listen, y'all. I think that wraps up another episode. Anybody else want to promo anything before we hop off?
Shout out TLC the gang. We coming back. Boom.
TLT the gang.
TLC the gang.
TLT the gang. No, not an actual gang. No, not like gang affiliate. Just a mantra that
Multimedia
we
org. Multimedia org.
TLT the group. TLT the group.
Not a gang, because that's what we are. Don't play with us.
Oh, hey. That was B Ruck. That was
Miss Prez.
Miss Prez. Oh, you Prez? You are Prez.
Oh yeah. I went. Yeah. Now
You
it
didn't
is.
tell
It's
me you
official. I forgot. I'm not gonna lie.
And I just talked to Wu today. He didn't even tell. You know, it's cool, bro.
Well, you're the first to find out because Wu just told me too. So
Today or like
2 days ago.
Big Prez.
Thank you. I finally made it. Like
Big Prez. Big Prez. Hadassah, anything you want to promo before we hop off?
No, well, not really, but y'all go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the
Yeah.
same as all of my socials. Dassa Reigns, DASSAHREIGNS. Dassa Reigns.
drop that link for us in the group chat because I need that.
Cool.
B Ruck, anything you want to promo before we hop out?
Nah, y'all. Stay blessed. Stay highly favored, and everything is gonna come in divine timing.
Amen. Oh Shabbat. Oh, we need the bishop back. Oh Shabbat. Oh Shabbat.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all. It's been another episode of the Campus Rundown right here on Historically Black Sense. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Till next time, man. Everybody be safe. Peace and
Hi,
blessings.
y'all.